to make the world safe for democracy.
This country connects two oceans. Put a man on the moon.
And build a computer that could beat me.
Okay. Yes, Gwemunange Aliwano. Sharing a screen. Tuli kumukolo gwa gumanyidwanga Heroes of Democracy 2026. Award zino zitekekebwa ekitongole kimanyidwanga Renewed Democracy Initiative. Akati bano boolaba wano beba influencers beba gagga be buli kimu be bano boolaba. Robert Kyagulanyi Sentamu y'omu ku abo abagenda okuwawadingibwa era nga bw'omulaba ali ku mmeeza eyo agenda kubanga afuna ekirabo olunaku olwaleero okubeera omu olw'okumwebaza okulwanirira Abannayuganda n'aleka ekyo kyonna kye yali akola.
Top political dissidents in the world.
That was the first 250 years.
Olw'okuleka buli kimu kye yali akola n'alwanirira Abannayuganda. Sharing a screen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your hosts for the evening, Margaret Hoover and John Avlon.
It is an honor to be with you all to celebrate freedom and democracy.
My name is Margaret Hoover.
And I'm John Avlon. We're married, so we'll step on each other's
This is my husband, yes, my better. Are you my better half? I'm not.
No,
it's unclear. You're my better half. I'm your better half.
That is correct. Welcome to the Renewed Democracy Initiative's Heroes of Democracy Gala.
Every year, RDI chooses this opportunity to honor heroes. How's that? Heroes who are individuals that have risked their lives, their livelihoods, their reputations, and their resources to further and defend democracy. I don't need to tell the people in this room that the system of self-governance is not self-sustaining. It is not inevitable, nor is it permanent.
And this, of course, is especially true in the United States of America as we approach and celebrate our 250th birthday. We got here not because it was inevitable, but because every generation knew that they had to defend freedom and democracy, that it was something we needed to earn through courage. And the legacy of the peoples we honor tonight embody that courage. But the role you all play, the role we all play, is not just in marking the last 250 years of our republic, but to mark the path forward, to think about the next 250 years, to instill that sense of courage and commitment to the ideals of freedom and democracy. And that is what you're doing here.
And there are several ways you can think about the next 250 years of democracy, but perhaps you will notice the QR code. Voila! It's not just here, but it's all around the room. And it will allow you to bid on democracy. Just kidding, you bid on the silent auction, which supports democracy. In addition, you can use the QR code to make a donation. You can also text to give. And for the old-fashioned people who are here, there are old-fashioned pieces of paper and old-fashioned pens on every table. Do you see they even have feathers on them? It's a quilt. And that is, of course, how you can best support RDI as it moves forward.
So, if something resonates tonight, please act on that. Understand that we are all here to honor not just our honorees, but to defend the dissidents who put their lives on the line on freedom, which is one of the great things that RDI does. to talk about this mission, the work we're here to support, and the work we have going forward. It's our honor to introduce the CEO of the Renewed Democracy Initiative, Uriel Epstein.
All right, thank you everyone. Thank you. Can we get another round of applause for the brave dissidents that we saw in the video earlier? RDI highlights the voices of political dissidents and those who take risks for freedom, like our honorees tonight, because we believe that they can break through our echo chambers and remind us that the promise of our democracy is worth fighting for. The people in that video you just watched value freedom precisely because they know what it's like not to have it. It's not just flowery words, fancy ideas, or paintings of guys in powdered wigs. Freedom is messy, it's complicated, and fighting for it won't always be clean. I just returned from a place where people understand this. A place where they're forced to understand it. Last month, I led a week-long delegation from RDI to Ukraine. And I promise it wasn't just to raise my mom's blood pressure. Over the last 4 years, RDI has delivered roughly $15 million in direct aid to Ukraine. We're unique among advocacy organizations because we believe that it's not enough to just talk about freedom. We have to go further. We have to make sure that the people risking their lives have what they need not only to survive, but to win. So on this trip, we visited our partners on the ground and saw the impact of our aid firsthand. We visited a school that had been destroyed by the Russians. And we visited another school that had been built underground in a windowless bomb shelter. Our security coordinator in Ukraine was a retired US Marine. He's a Mexican-American who became a successful management consultant after leaving the military. And yet, when Russia tried to conquer Ukraine, he left it all behind and joined the Ukrainian Foreign Legion. He experienced artillery barrages and airstrikes that most American soldiers have never endured. He did this despite having no personal connection to Ukraine. He went because he couldn't just sit around while the Ukrainians died for freedom and America didn't step up. This Marine's name is Isaac Olvera, and he's here with us tonight. Isaac, please stand up. Coming home from Ukraine was harder than going to Ukraine. Not just because it took 33 hours, but because every minute of that trip, I struggled with cognitive dissonance. I was coming home to a job defending freedom, but I'd be doing it from the safety of our office, while Isaac and countless others risked their lives in that fight. Where they had to crawl through the dirt and the mud, the shit, the blood and the guts, the mass graves, the craters where homes had once been. I mean, how do you process all of that? How do you reconcile that experience with this one? In this beautiful hall, as we celebrate the beautiful ideas of our founders. Truth is, there's no easy way to reconcile these realities. Yes, we're fortunate. fortunate to live in America, to be safe, comfortable, for now. But it's this good fortune which gives us the responsibility to support those on the front lines. And those front lines aren't just in war zones. They exist right here in the US. On college campuses, where students are increasingly losing faith in our democracy. Online, where political radicals are dominating the conversation. Among businesses who are afraid to speak out for fear of retribution. We don't need to become soldiers or go to Ukraine to fight this war. At RDI, we are trying to revive democracy's survival instinct, to get people to fight when their rights are at risk, when dictators threaten their neighbors, or when wannabe authoritarians threaten their own people. That's why we bring dissidents to universities, why we organize advocacy campaigns to combat authoritarian influence in the US, why we founded The Next Move, to raise up the voices of passionate moderates and create a forum to discuss strategy. We are fighting back against political extremists and offering people a positive vision of a free society worth striving for. So no, none of us have to be soldiers to fight, but we do need to take risks, to speak out, even when it's not convenient. Truth be told, those who came before us took even bigger risks. Our founders issued the Declaration of Independence even though they knew the British would hang them if they failed. Almost a century later, the abolitionists risked their lives to ensure that America lived up to the promise of that declaration. What our predecessors did wasn't just risky, it was complicated. They constantly operated in gray areas. They made compromises, but their moral core remained clear. They did what had to be done because they knew that the future could be brighter. And so do we. Look around you. These are the headlines that our children and grandchildren might one day see if we do what needs to be done. But if we're paralyzed by indecision, fear, or complacency, those who come after us might end up in a very different world. Neither of these outcomes is predetermined. The next 250 years can be brighter and more inspirational than the last. Tonight's honorees are doing what they can to make sure that 250 years from now, our descendants will think about us with the same gratitude we have for those who came before. I hope that tonight you'll join us in making this vision possible. We need you in this fight. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Uriel. That was deeply heartfelt. Thank you for walking us through what RDI is doing from the front lines in Ukraine to the front lines of the information war over at The Next Move.
And our honorees, of course, are an integral part of that effort. Freedom only has a future if individuals are willing to show courage and take the risks to keep it alive.
So, we're going to begin by recognizing some of the individuals who have done exactly that. Please turn your attention to the screen.
Democratic Senator Mark Kelly is hitting back after the Pentagon made the highly unusual announcement that it is launching an investigation
over a video in which he and a number of other U.S. lawmakers
with military and intelligence backgrounds are sending an urgent message to their still serving counterparts.
Your vigilance is critical.
President Trump responded by calling the post, quote, seditious behavior, punishable by death.
He took a risk for America's constitutional order.
My family knows the cost of political violence.
Received a call from my wife's chief of staff. Gabby's been shot.
He stood up because he believed in something bigger.
From the very beginning of our nation, it has depended on the willingness of patriotic Americans to fight for it. People of Arizona trusted me with a great responsibility to fill the remaining years of Senator John McCain's term. He was a hero, an example of how to serve your country honorably.
He took on the most powerful men on the planet, and he's winning.
Now both a grand jury and a federal judge have weighed in.
Astronaut, veteran, fighting for country and family.
And she reminds me every day to deny the acceptance of failure.
Please welcome our 2026 Hero of Democracy, Senator Mark Kelly.
I know I don't have to say that, but it's my honor to introduce the true hero of democracy, a senator from the great state of Arizona, and my friend, Mark Kelly. Thank you, Gary. Yes. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Gary. Thank you, everybody. Good evening, folks. I've never been in this room before. This is something. I want to really thank the Renewed Democracy Initiative for the honor, and also for the work that all of you do every day to promote freedom and fighting for all of those folks fighting for freedom around the world. It's really a privilege to be recognized along so many individuals who have stood up, often at great personal risk, to speak the truth and to demand freedom. Those of you who know me know that I never expected to be here. I'm the son of two cops. I didn't grow up very far from here in New Jersey. I went to public school. I became a Navy pilot, and then a test pilot, and then an astronaut. And in my family, my wife, Gabby Giffords, was the member of Congress. And I sometimes think to myself, if I was the person who would have been injured, would Gabby have become an astronaut? She says yes. But on January 8th, 2011, our lives changed forever. She was shot while meeting with her constituents in Tucson, Arizona, at a grocery store on a Saturday morning. And because of that, we both left the jobs we loved. But I love this country, and I felt an obligation to continue to serve, but just in a different way. I think about that sense of service a lot, especially because I now sit in the Senate seat once held by John McCain. John McCain was a hero of mine from my very first days in the United States Navy, even before that. A guy who served his country so honorably under the hardest of circumstances. And he was a hero
of freedom-loving people across the globe. He stood on that stage in Independence Square in Kyiv in 2013 alongside Ukrainian opposition leaders who were pushing for democratic reforms. He understood that fundamentally human beings deserve the right to choose their own future. And his legacy will never be matched. I don't even pretend to compete, but it challenges us every day to live up to the example that John McCain set for all of us. Because America can do amazing things when we are at our best. A couple of weeks ago, we had the opportunity to watch Artemis II travel further from Earth than any human beings have ever gone before, and faster. It is an incredible achievement that only can happen here in the United States of America when all of us work together. That kind of country is worth protecting because not every country gets to do that. Around the world, we're seeing authoritarian governments operate in a very different way. They're making people distrust each other and lose faith in their own system. And we have to be honest. Those pressures aren't just happening somewhere else. They're happening here at home as well. We're seeing challenges to fundamental constitutional norms and rights like the freedom of speech, the freedom of the press, and the ability to hold leaders accountable without the fear of retaliation. A few months ago, I released a video with a simple message. You saw it up there. I was actually wearing the same shirt. I do have another shirt. But it was a simple message that service members must refuse illegal orders. That's not controversial. It's actually the law. And in our country, everyone must follow the law. Well, Donald Trump didn't like it. Called for me to be hanged, executed, prosecuted. The guy couldn't even get the order right. By the way, I'm pretty sure that was the first time that a president of the United States in 250 years called for a member of Congress to be executed. I mean, if it wasn't serious, it would be kind of funny. But that should send a chill down the spine of every freedom-loving American and every person around the world who looks to this country, to the United States, as a beacon of freedom. And later, Secretary of Defense, let me say that again, the Secretary of Defense. The guy doesn't get to change the name. He censured me, and now he's trying to reduce me in rank, take away my pension after 25 years of service. I mean, if this president and the yes people around him thought that they could intimidate me, I'll tell you what, they picked the wrong guy. So I fought back and I sued him, specifically Pete Hegseth. But this was never about me. mean, this is about all Americans. It's about all of us. They wanted to send a message to anyone thinking about speaking up that you better shut your mouth or else. But it's not going to work, because that's not how this country works. And that's not in the Constitution, a document I swore an oath to protect and defend. There's nothing more fundamental in our democracy than the freedom to speak out about our government. It's actually a feature. It's the right that guarantees all others. And that's what I'm fighting for. And it's why the work of organizations like the Renewed Democracy Initiative and the courage of dissidents around the world matters so much. You are defending something that is fragile and worth protecting. And Gary, I am so grateful to be in this fight with you. So thank you. Thank you not just for this recognition. I do appreciate it. What I really want to thank you for is the work that you do every single day to provide hope to people throughout the world. And as my wife Gabby likes to say, these are challenging times, but together we are up for the challenge. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
That man represents the best of us. He represents exactly what we need to see in our senators and our members of Congress, a lifelong commitment to public service, an ability to withstand times of trial,
Yes,
and to remind us all as citizens that as free men and women, we refuse to live in fear. Thank you, Senator Kelly.
Being a leader and a hero also means sticking to your principles. Long after everyone else has updated theirs, RDI's next honoree has been remarkably immune to revisions, including some very public disagreements with the White House over his ideas about global freedom. So with that, we are delighted to turn to our next honoree, Ambassador John Bolton.
He is a tough-minded diplomat. He has a strong record of success.
John Bolton will be an important member of my State Department team. A standard bearer of American global leadership.
It will be a distinct privilege to be an advocate for America's values and interests. It will take a massive revolution of values and institutions at the State Department to make it into what it should be, advocates for America.
A man of unwavering ideals.
One thing I can assure you, we will not allow a double standard.
Placing principle over party.
This isn't the first time he's sought retribution against John Bolton.
I've been a conservative all my life. I worked in the Reagan administration. I worked in both Bush administrations. Speaking as a Republican myself here, the way to contain the damage is for Republican leaders to speak out. What the people really want and to nominate is somebody who will say, this conduct is unacceptable to us.
Please welcome our 2026 Hero of Democracy, Ambassador John Bolton.
Ambassador John Bolton omukwabo era abali honored ku mukolo guno.
Thank you very much.
Chavez is going to present the award.
Thank you so much. I'm Linda Chavez. I am the Vice Chair of the Renewed Democracy Initiative, and it is such a privilege to present this award to someone with whom I served in the Reagan administration. A man, whether you agree or disagree with him, you always know he stands on principles and he's not afraid to stand up to bullets.
Thank you, Linda, and thanks to all of you. There are a lot of people in this room who deserve this award. I'm very conscious of that, and it's an enormous honor to be here tonight. I'm certainly grateful to Gary, to Uriel Epstein, and really the whole Renewed Democracy Initiative team for building a community that refuses to bend to mobs or demagogues. The dissidents at the heart of RDI's Front Lines of Freedom program issue a clear warning and a challenge: stand up to tyranny and reclaim America's role as a force for good. They remind us that the freedoms we take for granted are for millions worth risking everything to secure, here and overseas. And I have to say, I have always believed it's morning in America. What drives me is that principles must underlie our international policies, and that both principles and policies come before political party. I believe in core values of freedom of speech, American global leadership, and protecting our interests and values along with our allies around the world. I've been criticized a little bit from both directions, left and right, for my belief in American global leadership. I've tried hard to work with plenty of folks who disagree with me. The ability to disagree productively is critical to a well-functioning democracy, and something that we need to fight for to bring back here. The important thing is for us to be united around the core principles undermining the American Republic. This is why I think RDI and all its efforts are so important, and is, I think, expressed by the enthusiasm and level of support here tonight. And why it's important, for people like you in this room to continue supporting these efforts. In addition to protecting the institutions of our republic, RDI does the work I believe our State Department ought to be doing, standing up for freedom, defying dictators, and advocating American values. That's why I'm so happy to be here today, the diverse community of people who passionately believe in these values. And I just can't say enough, say it one more time. Thank you so much.
Ambassador John Bolton, Senator Mark Kelly, two very different paths in public service, two very different sets of political beliefs, but their common courage reminds us that there is always more that unites us than divides us in America.
Both of you have modeled the courage and principle that we all aspire to here, and that undergirds democracy and strengthens it for the next generation. If you believe that it's worth supporting, please look at the QR code up here and please support democracy through the silent auction, through a donation to RDI, or by frankly getting more involved. This is time, talent, and treasure, folks. A representative in a vigorous democracy requires all of us to be involved. We should give money and get involved, right? So please consider giving, and please consider getting involved with RDI. And now please enjoy your dinner. We will be back in a moment.
Oops, sorry.
All right, thank you everyone for watching. Please keep sharing. So far we've had two of the heroes they've shared. We've had the Senate, and then we've had Ambassador Bolton. So as you can see, if you see on the wall there, as you can see, the Honorable Robert Chagulanyi Sentamu
Where are they heading to?
is definitely going to be honored tonight as a hero of democracy. The organization is called Renew Democracy Initiative, and so the organization, the Renew Democracy Initiative, is a non-partisan, non-profit organization which is dedicated to defending liberal democracy and confronting the rise of authoritarianism globally, and of course the United States inclusive. And that's why we've had people like the few people that have been honored already. Those are actually fighting authoritarianism in America. So that's why it's really very important. So it was founded in 2017 by former world chess champion and Russian dissident Garry Kasparov, and it focuses on education, the public, providing direct aid to frontline democracies and amplifying the voices of dissidents. So, of course, we are very honored to have our own Robert Chagulanyi Sentamu, elected president of Uganda, being honored tonight as a hero of democracy. With me is Ashraf Kasirye from Ghetto TV, of course, all the way to the United States. Yes, Ashraf, tell them what's happening here.
Okay, right away, my name is Ashraf Kasirye. I thank my brother Michael Kakande for taking us through what RDI is. And we have seen some fighters from different countries. We have seen the Senator Mark Kelly addressing the people, telling them what it means for people to have their democracy, to have freedom in their countries. And while they are fighting for their freedom in the United States, especially those that do not support the current administration under Trump, they are also concerned about African countries like Uganda. That's why you're seeing Honorable Robert Chagulanyi Sentamu, the elected president, right here invited to be honored for the sacrifices he has done. You and I, we all remember that Robert Chagulanyi Sentamu survived being killed in Arua in 2018, where his driver Yasin Kauma was killed. But also he has survived several attempts to be killed, and many of these people have been killed, many of them announcing injuries and scars. When you look at Council Nicholas Opio, there he is. He has a story to tell. He has a story to tell. So the point is, while Americans are fighting for their freedom, these people under the RDI are saying many other countries also deserve the same. That's why several people have been invited into this award, and they are going to award among the people Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu for the sacrifice he has made for this country. My name is Ashraf Kasire, and we are here to serve you, to give you all the details, or whatever is happening at this event. And on Ghetto TV, please go there and subscribe and watch and follow us and subscribe and make sure you get alerts. We are seeing Bobi Kyagulanyi, Bobi Tungo Kyagulanyi, the wife of the president, Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. We are also seeing the president himself, Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. He says he is a running man. He's not in exile. Those are some of his quotations. He says, I am a running man and I'm not in exile, meaning very soon he is coming back home. Yes, he is coming back home because he offered to fight for us, Ugandans. And if you're out there thinking that one person is going to fight for you and win for you, then you are damn dead. You must join such people that rise up to lead you in the fight to get your own freedom. We don't negotiate for our rights. We don't. Whatever negotiations Museveni says, he wants to talk to the opposition, he wants to talk to the people, the Mpugas of this world. Bobi Wine says we don't negotiate for our rights. We do negotiate for how you're going to exit power and let people decide who leads them. That is what Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu believes in. So my name is Ashraf, and I'm here to present you, to serve you, to send you whatever you need to see on Ghetto TV. But also this is the Bobi Wine TikTok. I'm just handing it over to my brother Michael Kakande to start from there right away.
Okay, bw'obanga oli mu kulaba, of course, bw'obanga oli mu kulaba ng'otegeera olulimi Oluganda, tuli wano e New York, nga bw'olaba ekigenda mu maaso, tuli ku awards baziyita Hero of Democracy 2026. Award zino nga ziweebwa omuntu akoze ebintu ebyensusso mu kulwanirira abalala, okwerekereza byonna, era nga bw'olaba abamu ku baze bafuna award zino, omu oyo omukulu gwe bayita Zelensky, president wa Ukraine, omu ku abo abaze bafuna award zino. Ate nga kakati olunaku olwaleero tubaddeko n'abasajja babiri abamaze okufuna ezaabo already. Tubaddeko ne Ambassador John Bolton. Ambassador John Bolton ono amaze ebbanga nga promotinga American leadership ku world stage, era nga yalekeraawo okukkaanya ne Donald Trump yadde nga yali National Security Advisor we okuviira ddala mu 2018 paka 2019. Ono nno yaliko ne era ambassador wa US mu kitongole ky'ensi yonna ekya UN mu 2005 paka 2006. Wabula omwaka oguwedde administration ya Donald Trump yamuweereza bamuggyeko ebintu, ba agents ne ba raiding amaka ge, ne bamuggyako ebintu ebyenjawulo olw'obutakkiriziganya nabo. So ekyo nno tekyayisa bulungi abantu abasinga abaagala demokrasi, era kakati y'omu ku abo abamaze okufuna awaadi zaabwe. Tubadde ne Senator Mark Kelly, ono nno Senator wa Arizona, ono nno captain okuva mu US Navy, ya retiringa kati, ate era y'omu ku abo abakola mu bizingirizo oba bagenda ku mwezi, ba astronaut mu kitongole ekya NASA, nga ekyo yakikolera ddala okuva mu 1996 paka 2011. Senator Mark Kelly ono nno yaddira mu bigere McCain mumujjukira bulungi, yesimbako ne kubwa president, era kati ye senator wa Arizona. Yakola ebintu bingi nnyo mu lutalo olwamanyiddwa nga gafuwo era n'asavinga gye bayita space shuttle missions emirundi 4 miramba kakati wamu ye ne mukyala we naye representative Amita Gabi Giffords be batandika ekibiina ekimanyiddwa nga Giffords nga kino kya Gun Safety Organization era naye amaze okufuna awaadi ye kakati ababulayo okufuna awaadi zaabwe bali babiri ye Honorable Chrystia Freeland ngono economic advisor wa President Volodymyr Zelensky president wa Ukraine ate era nga ono yali finance minister era n'abeerako deputy prime minister w'eggwanga lya Canada kuva mu 2022 paka 2024 ate nga yasooka kubeera foreign minister wa Canada mu 2017 paka 2019 so omukyalo oyo gwe bayita Chrystia Freeland y'omu ku bagenda okufuna award yabulayo kosa ne omwana waffe omukulembeze waffe Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu eyalondebwa abantu bamu ku abo lwaki tubinyonyola nga bunte
nange kyenjagala okubuuza Michael Kakande gwebala okubeerako wano olunaku lwaleero ofunye omukisa okubeerako ku TikTok ya president era ogenda kuba onnyonnyola ebigenda mu maaso mu kaseera kano event eno ya RDI etegeeza ki eri munnayuganda agala okukitegeera mu Luganda
ekibayita Renewed Democracy Initiative nga kyatandika mu 2017 nga kirwanirira enfuga eya demokrasiya kigenderera okulaba nga kiwa abantu ab'enjawulo abalwanirizi b'eddembe nga kibaya highlightinga kibagamba nti omulimu gwe mukola gw'amaanyi tugusiima ensi ekulaba era n'awaadi iyo tukibawadde nga bwe mbagambye nti kati already tubadde ne ambassador John Bolton ono nga yamanyibwa nnyo olw'okuba nti no yali national security advisor wa Donald Trump 2018 paka 2019 wano mu America ekintu kye bayita national security advisor w'omu America si nga bwe ba advisor bayi
seetamala emirundi wa Uganda omugenzi
bano ono abeera n'ekitiibwa kinene nnyo era president aba alina omuwuliriza ennyo wabula okusinziira ku ye Donald Trump bwe yatandika okuva ku mulamwa n'asala waya n'atandika obutakkiriziganya naye Donald Trump naye n'amugulako omusango
ekyo kibayita okuva ku mulamwa
ayanga agamba nti Donald Trump yava ku mulamwa n'amugulako omusango era n'amuweereza ne ba agenti mu makaage bagende bafukuza amakaage galabe biki byalina ate ye tubadde ne Senator Mark Kelly ono senator wa Arizona ono ye ate era naye yali mukwano gwa Donald Trump at a certain point naye ng'ate yasavinga amagye ga America ga US Navy era yaretiringa ate y'omu ku abo abasajja ba astronaut aba NASA
mukulu Kapalaga nga tunabagenda mu maaso nyawo ekibuuzo tuli ku RDI wano bonna boogera ku nsonga za freedom n'ekigambo democracy munnayuganda ayingiriramu wa era president wa Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu lwaki omu kubayitiddwa okubeera nga bamuawadinga mu event eno
webale nnyo muganda wange Ashraf ekibuuzo ekyo munnayuganda ekisookera ddala ateekeddwa okumanya nti ensi yonna etunulya kati essaawa eno tuli mu kibayita global village kitegeeza nti ekiri e Uganda ekiri e Ukraine ekiri wa yonna buli omu kimukwatako olunaku olwaleero America ne Israel ziri mu kulwana ne Iran naye amafuta geekanamye e Uganda kitegeeza tetuli mu lutalo na Iran naye ate amafuta ewaffe tugawulira kitegeeza buli injustice yonna eri mu nsi emu ekwatako buli muntu ali mu nsi endala
olwa global village kitegeeza nti tokolaba nti abakulembeze ab'enjawulo oba abalwanirizi b'eddembe buli kaseera buli wabeera banoonya ani alwanirira eddembe mu nsi ez'enjawulo bakuba ttooki mu nsi ez'enjawulo kati Uganda of course mwenna nga bwe mumanyi tulina omulwanirizi w'eddembe Kayingo ate nga avuddeyo okwogera kye bayita okwogera truth to the power okwogera amazima basically n'otatirira abantu ye Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu okusinziira ku ngundi gye bamutaddeko nga bamunominatinga wano bagambye nti ono yali member wa parliament wa Uganda
kakati olwaleero yakulembera ekibiina kya National Unity Platform naye kisinga obukulu bagamba he is known internationally as Bobi Wine. He left behind a career as a music superstar. Ekyo kikulu nnyo ku bazungu kubanga bagamba nti Bobi Wine yaleka career ye nga superstar n'atandika okulwanirira abantu. So he has run for president twice, and that is why bamunominatinze oba bamutaddewo okuba nti bamuwa ekirabo ekyokubeera Hero of Democracy 2026. You're right.